Good morning, dear students. From today onward, we will start our revision work, and in revision, we will revise chapter force and pressure. So, first we will discuss what is force and what is pressure. A push or pull on an object is known as force. If we push any object or if we pull any object, then that thing is known as force. So, push and pull on an object is known as force. If we are pushing something, means if you want to open the door, means you have to push it or either you have to pull it. So that push and pull is known as force. Suppose this is a pen. If I want to push this, means I am exerting a force. If I will pull it, it means I am exerting a force. So a push or pull on an object is known as force. Its SI unit is Newton. The SI unit of force is Newton and it is denoted by capital N. So, the second word in the chapter is pressure. What is pressure? If we are exerting a force on an area, then it is known as pressure. Means force per unit area is known as pressure. Pressure is equal to force upon area. This is the formula of pressure, where P stand for pressure, F stand for force and A stand for area. Force per unit area is known as pressure. From this formula we can write the definition also, that force per unit area or force divided by area is known as pressure. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal and it is denoted by PA. Pascal is the SI unit of pressure. It is denoted by PA. So a push or pull on an object is known as force and the force per unit area is known as pressure. The SI unit of force is Newton and the SI unit of pressure is Pascal. Now we will discuss what a force can do or what are the effects of a force. So we will discuss about the effects of force, what a force can do. So first thing, if the object is in rest, suppose this is a pen. Now it is at rest position. Rest means not changing its position with the respect of surrounding, that is known as rest. Now the object is in rest. When I exert a force on it, it will start moving. So force can move a stationary object. So first point is force can move a stationary object. This is the first effect of force, means if the object is in rest and if we will exert a force on it, then the object will start moving. So why the object start moving? Because we are exerting force on the object, so the object start moving. Second thing, when we are riding a bicycle and someone pushed that bicycle from backside, the bicycle stops, or mainly we will discuss about these things from an example of football. If in the starting football is in rest position, when a player kicks the ball, means the player exert a force and the ball start moving. When the goalkeeper holds the ball, goalkeeper exert a force, so the ball stop moving. So second effect is force can stop a moving object. Force can stop a moving object. Third, force can change the direction. How can you say that a force can change the direction? When a bowler bowls to the batsman hit the ball with the help of bat. It means batsman exerts a force, and when batsman exerts a force, it means the direction of ball changes. Similarly in football, when the player kicks in one direction, the opposite team player kicks the ball in opposite direction, means the opposite team player exerts the force in opposite direction, so the direction changes. So third effect is force can change direction. Fourth effect of force is force can increase or decrease the speed. If a football is moving slowly and a player kicks on it, then the speed increases. If the ball is moving fastly, if we apply a force on it, it stops. Same if the bicycle is riding, we push it or we pull it in backward direction, its speed will reduce. If a bicycle moving and we push it from backside, then the speed of bicycle will increase. So fourth effect is force can increase or decrease the speed. If we are exerting a force on an object, its speed can be reduced and its speed can be increased also. The fifth effect of the force is force can change the shape and size. Fifth effect is force can change shape and size of an object. If we are exerting a force on the object, suppose we have a football, when we push it from both the hands, its shape and size will change. Take the simple example, suppose we have a balloon. If we push the balloon from both with the help of both the hands, then the shape of the balloon will change. So a force can change shape and size of an object. These are the 5 effects, or these are the things which a force can do. Means force can move a stationary object, force can stop a moving object, force can change direction, force can increase or decrease the speed, force can change shape and size of an object. These are the effects of a force. Now we will discuss about the type of force. We have 2 types of force, contact force and non-contact force. What are contact forces and what are non-contact forces? So now we will discuss about type of force, contact force and non-contact force. If the forces are acting between 2 objects and both the objects are in contact with each other, then the forces are known as contact force. Example, muscular force, mechanical force, frictional force, these are the example of contact force. When the objects are in contact with each other, then the force is known as contact force. Example, muscular, friction or mechanical force. These are the example of contact force. Non-contact force, when the force is acting between 2 objects and the objects are not in contact with each other, then the force is known as non-contact force. Means if the objects are in contact, then the force is known as contact force, and if the objects are not in contact with each other, then the force is known as non-contact force. Example, electrostatic, magnetic, gravitational force. These are the example of non-contact force. Muscular, friction and mechanical force, these are the example of contact force. Now we will discuss about these forces. What is muscular force? The force applied by the muscles known as muscular force. If you want to exert a force with the help of your muscles, then you have to touch the object. Suppose I want to push this board. Without touching this board, I cannot push it. If I want to push this pen, without touching, I cannot push it. So muscular force, the force which is exerted by the muscles of our body known as muscular force. Frictional force, a force which opposes the motion of an object is known as frictional force or friction. A force which opposes the motion of an object is known as friction force. Suppose this pen is sliding on my palm. When this pen is sliding, after some time it will stop. Why it stops? Because a frictional force is exerted between these 2 surfaces. So a force which decrease the speed of an object or which do not allow the object to move, that force is known as frictional force. Mechanical force, the force exerted by the machines known as mechanical force. The force exerted by the machines. Now machines cannot apply any force without touching. Suppose I want to lift anything, we have to touch the object. If you want to push anything, you have to touch the object. These are the example of contact force. Non-contact force, electrostatic force. The force exerted due to the charge is known as electrostatic force. When we rub the scale in our dry hairs, it will attract the pieces of paper. That is due to the electrostatic force. The force exerted by the charges, that force is known as electrostatic force. Magnetic force, the force exerted by a magnet known as magnetic force. Suppose you want to attract the iron nails with the help of a magnet, then no need to touch the magnet to the nails. From a distance, the magnet will attract the pieces of iron nails. It means this is the type of non-contact force. Third is gravity. Gravity means the gravitational force, the force of attraction between two objects is known as gravitational force. If I throw a things in upward direction, it comes down, that is due to gravity. Suppose I throw this pen in upward direction, it comes down. After some time, why it comes down? Because earth attracts the object towards itself, and that force is known as gravity. मैंने ऊपर से ड्रॉप किया तो जरूरी नहीं है कि अर्थ के कांटेक्ट में है, कांटेक्ट में होगा तो नीचे गिरेगा कैसे फिर ये. So this is also the example of non-contact force. So we have two type of force, contact and non-contact. When the objects are in contact, force is known as contact force, and when the objects are not in contact, then the force is known as non-contact force. Example of contact force: muscular, friction and mechanical. Example of non-contact force: electrostatic, magnetic and gravity. These are the examples. Now we will discuss about the unit of force. The SI unit of force is Newton, and it is denoted by capital N. This is SI unit, and the CGS unit is dyne. 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to power 5 dyne. So mainly we will use this unit. Newton is the SI unit of force. We will discuss about the formula of force. So we have a formula for force. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass is the constant quantity of an object. Acceleration, the change in velocity per unit time, is known as acceleration. SI unit of force is Newton. SI unit of mass is kilogram, and SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. So 1 Newton is equal to 1 kilogram meter per second square. 1 Newton is equal to 1 kilogram meter per second square. SI unit of force is Newton, and the CGS unit is dyne. 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to power 5 dyne, and formula of force is equal to mass into acceleration. 1 Newton, SI unit of force is Newton, SI unit of mass is kilogram, and SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. So this 1 Newton is equal to 1 kilogram meter per second square. These are the units of force. Now we will discuss that how we can add the forces and how we can subtract or cancel the forces. Suppose this is a box. If two forces are acting on it, force A and force B. Two forces are acting on it, and we want to calculate the resultant force. Resultant force means the total force which is exerted on this object. So resultant force will be the sum of all the forces. Resultant force is the sum of all the forces. So if you want to find the resultant force on this object, then it will be force A plus force B. This is also known as addition of force. Now how can you subtract or how can you cancel the force? For that we have, suppose this is a box. Three forces are attracted on it, applied on it. Force A, force B and force C in this direction. So what will be the resultant force or total force that will exert on that box? So to find the resultant force, we have to add all the forces which are exerted on an object. So the resultant force will be force A plus force B, and this will be plus minus C. Why we use this minus sign? Because this force is exerted in opposite direction. एक साइड वालों को आपको पॉजिटिव लेना है और दूसरी साइड वालों को नेगेटिव लेना है. So what will be the result? A plus B minus C. This is the subtraction or this is the addition of force. Now the question is how these objects will move. If the sum of these two forces A and B will be greater than the frictional force, then this object will move in this direction. It will move in this direction. But in this, if the sum of these two forces will be greater than C, then it will move in this direction. If the C force is greater than sum of these two forces, then it will move in this direction. So this will be according to the resultant force, that in which direction the object will move. Now we will discuss about pressure. About pressure, I told you the formula of pressure is equal to force upon area. From this formula we can write the definition also, or we can define the definition. Force per unit area is known as pressure. P stands for pressure, F stands for force, and A stands for area. From this we have a conclusion that pressure is directly proportional to force and pressure is inversely proportional to area. It means if the force will increase, then pressure will increase. If the force will decrease, then pressure will decrease. Inversely proportional to area, it means if the area will increase, then pressure will decrease. If the area will decrease, then pressure will increase. ये दोनों इनवर्सली उल्टा रहेंगे और ये दोनों डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल रहेंगे, सीधा सीधा डिपेंड रहेंगे एक दूसरे पे. If force increase, then pressure will increase. If force decrease, then pressure will decrease. If area will increase, then pressure will decrease. If the area will decrease, then pressure will increase. So pressure is directly proportional to force and inversely proportional to area. From this we have so many examples. Why the knife is sharp from the edges? The knife is sharp from the edges to reduce the area. If the area will be small, then pressure will be high, pressure will increase, and when pressure will increase, then it is easy to cut the fruits and vegetables. One more example, why the tip of the needle is sharp? The tip of the needle is sharp to reduce the area. When area will reduce, the pressure will increase, and when pressure will increase, the needle will easily enter into the clothes. Same, why the tip of the iron nail is sharp? Because to reduce the area, and when area will reduce, the pressure will increase, and when pressure will increase, then it is easily stuck into the walls. Why the tractor have broader tires? That we all know that mainly we use tractor in fields. So if the tires are broader or wider, then area of contact will be high. And when area of contact will increase, then it will exert a less amount of pressure. When it exerts a less amount of pressure, then it will not stuck into the ground. भाई ट्रैक्टर है वो नीचे धसेगा नहीं. Same we have camel have broader feet, so the camel can easily walk in desert, where a horse cannot move easily in desert. Why? Because camel have broader feet. नीचे से flat feet होते हैं उन camels के, तो broad होते हैं. So they will not stuck into the ground. The camel can easily walk. Same horse, the area of contact will be small, so it will exert more pressure. They will stuck into the ground, so they cannot move easily. So related to these, we have so many examples. Why we have the broader strip of our school bag? इतनी चौड़ी हमारी strip होती है school bag की. Why we are wasting the cloth? We can say we can use a thin strip. Because if the strip is wider, then the area of contact will be high, and when the area of contact will be high, then the pressure will be low. So we feel comfort. We will not get any pain in our shoulder. It is easy to carry that bag. Now we will discuss about the unit of pressure. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal. That Pascal is denoted by PA. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal, and that is denoted by PA. And according to the formula, we know the unit of force is Newton and the unit of area is meter square. So we can say that 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. If we exert a 1 Newton of force on a unit area, then the pressure will be 1 Pascal. This will, by the help of this formula, we can find the pressure. Now we will discuss about the pressure in liquid. We know that liquid also exert a pressure. If you want to swim in swimming pool, then you have to exert a force. Without exerting force, you cannot swim. So water also push in us in backward direction. It means the liquid also exert a pressure. Liquid also exert a pressure on the objects. How can you say that the liquid exert pressure on an object? So for that, we have an activity. Suppose I have a test tube. If I tie a balloon here, मैंने यहाँ एक balloon टाइप किया. This is empty. Now when I filled this with water, then what will happen? When I filled it with water, the balloon will inflate. The size of the balloon will increase. The balloon will inflate. Size change हो गया. Why the size changes? Because the liquid exert a pressure on the balloon. So the size of the balloon changes. It means the liquid exert a pressure on the object. Similarly, suppose this is a beaker. If I made 2 holes here, and this is filled with water, then the water will come out from both the holes. Water is coming out from both the holes. It means that water is exerting a force on the walls of container. Due to that force, the water is coming out from the beaker. Related to this, we have one more concept, that with the increase in the depth, the pressure which is exerted by the liquid will increase. How can you say that? Suppose this is a beaker. If I made 2 holes in this beaker, and this beaker is filled with water, and both the holes are open, from which hole the maximum water comes? The maximum water comes from this hole. Why the maximum water comes from this hole? Because this hole is at bottom. So when it is at bottom, the depth increases, and with the increase in depth, the pressure increases. And when the pressure increases, the more amount of water comes out from the beaker. So with the increase in the depth, the pressure exerted by the liquid increase, and liquid exert a pressure, and we can measure the pressure which is exerted by the liquid with a device. The name of the device is manometer. Manometer is a device Manometer is a device which is used to measure the pressure in liquids. होता कैसा मैनोमीटर? मैनोमीटर में हमारे पास इस टाइप से एक ट्यूब होती है, यहाँ हम डिवाइस यूज करते हैं. तो विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस मैनोमीटर वी कैन मेजर द प्रेशर exerted by the liquid. Now we will discuss about the pressure exerted by gases. So we all know that gases also exert pressure. In gases we can take the example of air. You can easily understand this when you are riding a bicycle, when there is no air or no air is blowing, no wind is blowing, then it is easy to ride the bicycle. But if the air is blowing, means if wind is blowing, at that time it is difficult to ride the bicycle. Why this happens? Because air exerts pressure on us. So when air exerts pressure, then the speed will reduce. It is difficult to move or ride the bicycle. But when there will be no air is blowing, at that time it is easy to ride the bicycle. Related to air pressure, we have one more example. The roof of the thatched houses, जो कच्ची छतें होती हैं, उन पे टिकी हुई होती हैं, बट व्हेन द एयर ब्लोज द फ्लू अवे विद द एयर. व्हाई दिस हैपेंस? बिकॉज हाई स्पीड विंड रिड्यूस द प्रेशर. भाई छतें जो होती हैं, छत पे रूफ पे टिकी हुई होती हैं, कच्ची जो छतें होती हैं तो वो उस पे टिकी हुई होती है, बिकॉज द एयर विच इज प्रेजेंट अबव द रूफ, दैट एयर एक्सर्ट अ प्रेशर ऑन द roof, so they are attached with the house. But when high speed wind blows, at that time the pressure is reduced. High speed wind reduce the pressure, so when pressure reduce, then they flow with the air. Same in our cars, we are using rubber sucker. विंडो पे धूप से बचने के लिए हम रबर सकर यूज करते हैं. These rubber suckers works on the principle of atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure, the pressure exerted by the atmosphere is known as atmospheric pressure. We all know that rubber sucker is in this shape. Air is filled here. So when I push it on a window pane, then the air which is present inside that comes out, and the outer air exert a pressure on it, and it will stick on the window pane. So air also exert a pressure on the objects, and we can measure that air pressure with the help of a device. The name of the device is barometer. Barometer is a device which is used to measure the air pressure. Air pressure can be measured with the help of a device. The name of the device is barometer. One more thing, how can you say that air exert pressure? We have discussed a common example from our daily life. We have an activity also. Suppose I have a beaker, plastic bottle. I filled this with warm water. When I put warm water, the vapors are present here. Cover it. Vapors are present here. So this bottle is completely filled with the particles. When I put some amount of cold water on it, when I drop some cold water in it, the vapors will convert it into drops. When the vapors will convert it into drops, these drops will come here and become water. These vapors will convert it into drops, or water drops comes down. Then this part will be empty and this bottle will be crashed. When this bottle will be crashed, this also proves that air exerts pressure on object. So this is the chapter force and pressure. You have to revise this chapter carefully. Okay, thank you.